and welcome to Season 4, Episode 4 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on this episode, we've got a top-of-the-table clash. We're away against Crewe in League 2. They're first, we're second. Let's look at how we got there. This was the live com that we had in the last episode where we beat Northampton 1-0. We were just starting to get used to playing with our three at the back system. As you can see by the league table, we got pretty good at it as the month went on, but this was pretty much the start of a real good run of form for us. He says, that was the Johnson's Paint Trophy though. We don't care about that. We're glad to have it out of the way. We rotated the squad a little bit. We were rubbish. Plymouth are better than us anyway, but it was a local derby and the fans got a little bit upset about it, but who cares? It gets that out of the way. We can focus on the league now. And focus on the league we did. We went away to Morecambe, beat them 2-1. We were very, very good in that game. We controlled possession. We had more shots than they did. We're still playing the counter-attacking system, but it was good to see us come back from a goal down. And just we controlled that game. We never looked like losing. And then we signed a player. I think I might have found the striker we were looking for. Lee Novak. He's come in from, where was he? Exeter's us, Luton. We've initially signed him on a 3-month loan, which takes us to mid-January, but we've negotiated a buy him any time during the loan price of 100,000, and a couple of days later we bought him for 100,000. So he signs for us on the 1st of January. Yes, he's 30 years old, but he is too good for League 2, and I like signing players who are too good for League 2. He's played all his career in the Championship and League 1. He was playing there last season, playing very well, and I think he's the ideal man to slot into the defensive forward position that we've been playing. He's a good finisher, he's strong, he's everything we're looking for in a centre forward at the moment. He works hard, he's going to chase their defenders and their goalkeeper down all day long. Exactly the kind of player that we wanted. He's probably not going to score a huge ton of goals for us, but that's not what that role is for in our team. He's there to pester the back four constantly throughout the match and create chances for others around him by doing that. And by doing that, chances are going to open up for him anyway, so he is going to score goals. Just don't expect 20 goals this season from Lee Novak, but he's a very important part of the team, and that's why we've spent good money on him. We then went away to Blackpool, and we beat them 2-1 as well. And really, their goal was 92nd minute. The game was over at that point. Novak made his debut, playing up front with Anton Forrester. Forrester scored. Gale still playing very well at fullback, as was Tilney. Tilney scored. Gale assisted. I'm loving these fullbacks. They're fantastic. I'm struggling a little bit with the 3-5-2 in that the player ratings for the back three are always awful. We're trying something a little bit different in today's match to see if that changes that, which I'll go through in a second. But yeah, their ratings are the lowest in the team all the time, even though we're fairly sound defensively. I don't really understand that. But that game gave us our 7-match unbeaten run, which is far better than we ever could have expected at the start of the season. And there was a little request new contract button at the bottom of the screen, so I thought, well, be rude not to press it. I'm only under contract until the end of this season. We're doing really well. People are going to start looking at me, so may as well request a new contract. They were quite happy to offer me a contract, so we got into contract discussions. They initially offered me just £1,000 a week, which was only just slightly above what I was on at the moment. I managed to, after several tries, to get them up to £1,200. We settled on £1,100 a week. With a 1-year contract extension, so basically it's a 2-year contract, so still only in October, and that works out at just under £60,000 for the year, which means perhaps not yet, but towards the end of the season we'll look at moving out of our little apartment that we got early in the season. We might be able to buy a house now on this extra money, which is always good. This one confused me. Not the fact that Stoke's manager is upset at the lack of first-team football that James McKenna has been having since his loan spell. Obviously, he's not played a game yet. But the thing that confused me was that Stoke's manager is Zinedine Zidane. So I had a look, and it's not just the fact that he's Stoke manager. Zinedine Zidane seems to have decided to set himself up as a career at average English football teams. So he spent a little bit of time as assistant manager at Everton. He was then manager of West Brom for a year and a bit and got sacked by them. Stoke are in the Championship, so over the summer he's become manager of Championship side Stoke. I don't understand. Why is Zinedine Zidane the manager of Stoke? I'd probably just go somewhere else, do anything else. Yes, you might have been rubbish at West Brom. Quite frankly, you shouldn't have been managing them in the first place. You shouldn't have been assistant manager of Everton in the first place. Probably could have just stayed hanging around at Real Madrid forevermore. But clearly, the lure of Everton was too much, and he's now stuck as an average manager in England, which he might turn it around, but it just struck me as a little bit odd. Didn't affect our next game though. Home against Stevenage, we beat them 1-0, a goal from Anton Forrester. Very happy to see the run continuing. It did come to a crashing end at home to Cambridge. It was a Miles Addison own goal. Unfortunately, Plegigrazo, is that his name? Still don't know. He was injured, so he had to play Miles Addison, who didn't have a great game. He scored an own goal. We kind of need to get back to our normal back three sooner rather than later. The board are still delighted with my performance. They're particularly pleased with our fantastic performance in League Two, and rightly so. As I say, we're in second place. They think Pleguezuelo is a poor signing. I disagree. I think he's going to be very important in this system. And that's the league after 15 games. So we're up in second place. We're only 3 points behind Crewe, who are in first place, and that's who we're playing today. They've got a better goal difference than we have, so unless we absolutely stuff them today, they're still going to be top, but we could be level on points with them by the end of today's episode. It's so tight at the top of League Two, though. We're only 4 points above 8th place, who aren't even in the playoffs, so everyone's a little bit inconsistent, which is why the two teams that have been fairly consistent this month have sort of drifted towards the top of the league. But it would be very, very nice to beat Crewe today. And this is the team that we're going to be playing. And this is what I'm talking about. We're trying something a little bit different to try and get some better ratings out of the back three. I haven't tried this yet. This is the first time I've done it. But Pleguezuelo, who plays in the middle of the back three, I've put him onto a cover instruction. I'm keeping the two either side of him as defend. And just having him slightly further behind them makes them two more of a traditional back two, almost making Pleguezuelo into a sweeper, but not quite. But I don't know. Trying something a little bit different. It doesn't make sense to have the three of them just playing as normal centre-backs when most teams are playing with one or two strikers. So trying something a bit different. It might work, it might not. We're also trying something a little bit different in midfield. Marlon Pack has been playing as a deep-lying playmaker and has been struggling to make an impact on the game. So I've switched him to a ball-winning midfielder for today and changed him from defence to support instruction, just in the hopes of involving him a bit more in breaking down play, which is what he's good at, and also just giving him the opportunity to get a little bit further forward and join in with the attacks, rather than having two midfielders who are just sort of sat hovering around in front of a very static back three, which is what we had at times before. What this could mean is that I'm breaking the system at a time when we need it most, when we're away to the top of the table club, or it could be they were the two missing pieces of the jigsaw. So I guess we find out today. But let's get our team submitted. Lee Novak still hasn't scored for us. Almost makes you think I should have waited until end of December before spending actual money on him when the price was already agreed as part of his loan deal. But I'm never one to be patient, so we've bought him now. So if he turns out to be a flop, we're stuck with him for the next 3 years anyway, because I don't do things the way normal people do things, clearly. But after all that fiddling around with my back three, this probably isn't the lineup we wanted Crewe to be playing. They're playing with they're playing the diamond, so they've got two strikers pushed right up onto our two centre backs, and then a deeper player in the attacking midfield spot, who, as a flat three, Pleguezuelo would pick up. I wonder if Osborne is going to go with him from the central midfielder defensive position, or is Pleguezuelo as the cover player going to come out and cover him? At the moment, I guess he's their number 13. He's hovering around between the two of them, and that could cause problems. I'm tempted to drop Osborne back as a holding player, but then he's got the potential of getting in Pleguezuelo's way, so I'm probably going to do nothing and then whine about it afterwards. That's more my style. Lee Novak's just scored his first goal for the club, though. Fantastic. There you go. I knew it was worth spending that money on him. £100,000 well spent. Good finish from Novak. That goal came from absolutely nowhere. Let's have a look at it in 3D. So Tilney picks the ball up out wide, and it's just a sort of cross shot type thing. Rebound falls to Novak. Not going to miss from there. And that's, yeah, he's a quality striker. That's the sort of thing you would expect from him. We just need to hold on to this now, which is what we're good at, but I am still worried about their number 13 and the little pockets of space he's finding, like he did again just there. It looks like it's Osborne who's picking him up most of the time. Novak wins the ball there, misses Foley completely, and they've got the ball out wide. And that number 13, he's dropped back into their midfield now, and I do keep trying to keep an eye on him. Osborne's with him at the moment. Ball's gone out wide. McKay has scored for them, and that's 1-1. And that's a pretty much instant reply, isn't it? Yeah, even the commentary itself is saying it's instant reply. What to do? What to do? When I was fiddling with the system, I wasn't planning on coming against a diamond. I guess we just go with it. Oh, Ryan McConnell's been error prone today, has he? Oh well. I'm not going to fiddle. I've decided to leave the system alone in the middle of matches, just because sometimes blindly following what my assistant manager says leads us into trouble. So I'm happy with the way the system was set up at the start of the match, so we're going to keep playing that way. McConnell is drifting further and further down on his rating for the game, though. Again, I don't know how to get the back three to get good ratings, because I think they're playing well. We are fairly solid defensively, but maybe it's because it's three of them doing the job of two people. None of them look particularly impressive doing it. Yeah, that wasn't good. Certainly didn't look impressive there. Let's have a look what's gone on here. So the cross has come in, and they've got two players behind our back three. I'm not really sure how. I guess it was our right back maybe playing them all onside, but that was just sloppy all round. Still no reason to majorly panic at the moment. We're playing a counter-attacking system, and that's exactly what we're doing. Each team's only had one clear-cut chance. Yes, they've had just more of the ball, and they've had more shots than we have, but if we go by clear-cut chances as the measure of who's been the better team, rather than who's been the more clinical in front of goal, then it's still fairly even, which is fine. We're not getting absolutely battered, and Forrester almost got in there. Novak's picked the ball up now. Foley's got it. Can he find Tilney? Tilney needs to get a cross in, really, but hits it back in field to Foley, and now Pack, who has found himself getting more involved further forward, and he's set up Novak to make it 2-2. And that's exactly what I wanted to be seeing from Marlon Pack. He just wasn't making it into their half at all, playing as a deep line playmaker. But he's certainly found Novak there, and Novak is showing off for you lot. He hasn't been doing this in the offline games that he's played. I think this is his 5th game for the club now, and this is the first time he's looked anything like a goal scorer for us. After all that, he's not going to score a huge amount of goals, but that's not what he's for nonsense. I said at the start to try and save face. He's going to get a hat-trick today now. Forrester's got the ball here. Oh, but we've left them in loads of space, and that was just poor. We're playing with 5 at the back. How have we left Billy Sharp in that much space? I need to see this in the replay. Do we put this on Pleguezuelo? I mean, who is playing him on side there? I don't even understand. I could sit and watch that replay over and over again and not understand what's happened there. Rubbish. And now they are ahead for clear-cut chances. Right, what can we do? See, the back three are all having poor games according to the average ratings. And they looked it just then, to be honest. But I haven't got Miles Addison on the bench. Winard is not going to be a centre-back any time soon. He's a right-back who's struggling to find any role in this team, which is a shame when he's the captain. But we'll just leave things as they are. Declan McManus can come on for Forrester. And we'll take Osborne off as well. We'll bring Ryan Donaldson on for him. Ryan Donaldson has probably been the biggest victim of the change in system, because he's not really had a game. He doesn't really have a role. Yeah, he's going to have to go there. Foley comes across to be the central midfielder on defence. Donaldson's going to have to play box to box and like it. It's a shame because Donaldson did look really effective earlier in the season, especially in Earth 1 on that disappearing first game of the season when he was dominant. Not really looked that good on Earth 2, which is a shame. But he still has the potential to just create something out of nothing, which is probably the one thing we're missing from the way we've been lining up lately. Just that little bit of spark of individual brilliance. I'm tempted to... I don't want to push him further forward because it's just going to take us out of counter-attacking completely. We're going to bring Jack Rolls on, the youngster. He's quite happy to play in that central midfielder position. And we just hope something will come from these last 10 minutes. I think we've been undone by the diamond today. Our back three didn't really know how to handle it. They've spent a lot of time playing against 2 up front, 1 up front, even 3 up front with 1 in the middle, 2 wide. But this is the first time they've come up against this, and this might be a note for myself that we can't really handle a diamond in this system. But we've just equalised. Declan McManus has come off the bench for his 9th goal of the season. We're back up to 3rd in the league. This is, I mean, it's been an even-ish game. 50-50 on possession. They've had 1 more clear-cut chance than us. I don't think this has gone down as clear-cut, which I would say that's about as close to clear-cut as you can get. McManus has done well with it, but it was a very good cross. We could still nick this game and win it, and I can stop being so negative. Remember, we're against the top of the table team here as well, and Donaldson very nearly putting Novak through for his hat-trick. And I guess we can't complain at all about going to the top of the table team, drawing 3-3. It was a good comeback. I'll agree with my assistant manager's comments there. And I guess we're fairly happy with that. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future episodes. Thanks very much for watching.